Hey, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Superhero Deep Dive. I am your host, Jason, and I have a pretty fun episode planned. This one's going to be a little different because I am not actually going to be doing power expansions, and I'll have to explain why. But let me get my normal disclaimers, get this knocked out, so we can have fun with this. Alright, now the information is pulled from different sources across the internet and may or may not be completely complete, but they do give a really good insight on the current superhero. The reason I have to say this is because there are new storylines that come up, or there are things that people think I miss, and sometimes I skip over storylines that the character was in, and that's mainly because I don't feel like it contributes to the essence of the character or who they really are. Or they get retconned really fast anyway, and it's really hard to keep up with it. Sometimes I just don't include things because I personally didn't like it, and I think that if you guys wanted to know, then maybe you'll learn enough about the character to research it more or find the comics yourselves and read those storylines, because that's half the fun of it. As always, if you're watching on YouTube, hello, welcome. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Please share it out. Please help me get more followers. I think that'd be great to actually have a YouTube community, where we can talk about heroes, where we can actually have conversations about storylines and things like that, in a constructive and uplifting way. Also, if you are listening to me wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, hello, welcome. Let me recommend my favorite podcast, which is the Friends with Benefits podcast by the Talk Nerdy to Me Network with my friends Chris and Chris. They're amazing, they're awesome, and they're hilarious. And they're vastly underrated. And also, if you are listening to me on Outworld Fleet Radio, I air every Tuesday and Thursday throughout the day on that. Hello, welcome. You can catch me on YouTube and leave a comment. Let me know. Or other words. Let me get to that. Sorry. Kind of getting lost in my own thoughts. Outward Fleet Radio's web address, if you want to listen to me while you're at work or something, because what could it hurt, is www.un-con-ventional.com/radio. And you can always reach me on Twitter, Instagram, never Twitch, but I do have a Twitch account under Super Deep Dive. And you should use the hashtag Superhero Deep Dive. And if you are looking for me on YouTube, look for me at Superhero Deep Dive. Also, you can email me directly, and I do get quite a few of those. My email is b4itall, so b4itall at yahoo.com. Alright, this week I am talking about Chthon, or Chthon, or I don't know how you pronounce it. And when I tried to pronounce it, it comes out different almost every time. But he is a mystical baddie. He's pretty cool, and we may end up seeing him in the Multiverse of Madness. There have been some hints that he's being dropped, in that. And I was sent a special request by my good friend Cyrnix, who is amazing. He's an amazing DJ. He creates all these beats. I definitely recommend looking him up. He is awesome. He recommended this to me, so I promised him I'd do it. And then I have, I think, 2 more requests, and then I have a bunch of other ones lined up. So it's going to be a great time. But anyways, back to Chthon. I'm just going to say Chthon even if I mispronounce it. If I do, I'm sorry. If you know the correct spelling, let me know. Yeah, just let me know. I don't know how to let me know. Any way you want, really. But let me know. And I'm sorry if it annoys you with my mispronunciation, because sometimes that just irks people. Sorry. I'm just going to say Chthon, though, just because that's all I can do. Alright. So billions of years ago, shortly after the formation of the Earth, the Demiurge, which is a sentient life force of the Earth's biosphere, seeded the young planet with its essence, creating a race of elder gods, the foremost of which were Chthon, and his siblings Set, Gaia, and Ashtur. Like Ashter, Bashter, Bagashter. I don't know. I'm sorry. Bad joke. Anyways, the elder gods proliferated across the planet and ruled it for 1,000,000 years. Chthon spent his time studying the mystical forces of the universe and eventually became the Earth's first black magician. Now, when I say this, I am talking about black magic. I'm not talking about the magician who was black. I am talking about black magic. He is the first practitioner of black magic. I think that sounds better. Please don't cancel me. I don't have enough to be canceled. Over time, at least 1 billion years ago, the elder gods degenerated and turned into demons, warring with one another and struggling for power and influence. Gaia, who had not been corrupted, feared for the safety of the new life brewing within the Earth's oceans. She went to the Demiurge and asked it to conceive in her a means in which to vanquish the demons. She entered the depths of the earth and gave birth to Atum, the first of a race of new gods. Atum went around the earth, slaying the demons and absorbing their energy. Atum then took on a monstrous appearance and became the Demogorge, the God Eater. That's a pretty cool nickname. Fun fact, there's a style of martial arts in Japan called Kyokushin, which is like a super hard style. The guy that was the grandmaster, like the main guy of it, was called the God Hand because it was said if you fought him, he could decide whether you lived or died. Like, just saying, that's a pretty fun fact, pretty cool thing. One could have a worse nickname, right? All right. Chthon managed to escape the God Eater by creating another dimension, the Flickering Realms, also known as Kalei or Other Realm. Along with his brother Set, Serpent Sea, the Flickering Realms were the first two inner planes, dimensions located in the close vicinity of Earth. Before he left, in the Darkhold, a chamber amongst the caverns inside the mountain that would be known as Mount Wundagore, Transia, Eastern Europe, Chthon wrote the Darkhold, inscribing all his arcane knowledge on scrolls made from indestructible parchment and left them behind to serve as a physical link between Earth and his new home should he ever choose to return. It was theorized by the Logomancer that the Darkhold was originated from etchings carved on the walls of the city of R'lyeh by ancient and hideous things, the Great Old Ones, among which Chthon was allegedly the greatest, despite being usually recognized as an elder god. In full control over his dimension, Chthon created the Nagari, whom he sent to another dimension set within his own. I am sorry for that random country accent that came out when I said Nagari, because it's happened. Born and bred in Virginia, guys. It's gonna happen. Alright, trapped in his dimension, Chthon then went to slumber, intending to one day return. He granted powers to the Darkhold's users, who forfeited their souls. Chthon led a faction of evil gods in a war against another group. Chthon's side was defeated and banished from Earth to the other realm by their opponents. Over the centuries, humans would find the scrolls and other writings left by Chthon, eventually bounding them together in a single volume, the Darkhold. Chthon's new dimension was close enough to continue influencing Earth. A pact was struck between the surviving elder gods, who was Chthon, Set, Gaia, and the returning Ashter, the famous trio Ashter, Gashter, and Bagashter. Sorry, I have a feeling I'm going to make that joke every time. Sorry, not sorry. That each would occupy their own realms and not directly interfere with each other's territory. Earth was the realm of Gaia, and so Chthon was banned from ever returning there, or else face the wrath of the Demogorge, God Eater. Still, he found ways to intervene indirectly through the demon races he created, which were not bound by his oath. Alright, Chthon created or spawned, which his spawns are said to be creations, while there is nevertheless a distinction between spawns and magical creation. But he created several elder spawn. Elder races such as Nagari, the Ape Men, the Ape Lords, the Man-Bats of Urzanar, the Harpies, the Goblins, and his most infamous success, the Wolfmen of Valusia, whose wolf lords Garmer the Hellhound, Lycoan Bloodhound, Gueco the Night Beast, and Varkolik the Wolf Demon held the world in terror. He also created the first who crawled out of the mud to worship the Great Old Ones, the Broodlings of Chthon, as well as the Night Gaunts. You know, I'm sorry, these Wolfmen have awesome names. The Hellhound, the Bloodhound, the Night Beast, the Wolf Demon. Those are pretty badass. Just saying, like, good job, Marvel, on this. Alright, Darkhold Dwarf, Dragonus, Midwife, Monstrosity, Nezerol, Whisperer, and Wish Demon could be Chthon spawns or simply magical creations. It's never been really disclosed which ones. Meanwhile, the Darkhold Scrolls found their way to pre-cataclysmic Atlantis. The first vampires were created there using Chthon's power, including their Lord Varney. Chthon made contact with Varuna of the Birdmen at Akamat, a race created by Chthon's sister Ashtar. But I thought Ashtar was a guy. Like, it said it was a brother. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But created by Chthon's sibling Ashtar. Of Ashtar, Goshtar, Bagoshtar. So, I don't know. Alright. And lied to him about making Varuna and other birdmen suspicious of the other lower races. Varuna formed the Asura, which went to war with the other faction of the birdmen, the Seraphim. Working via Kiku, Chthon tempted and broke the sorcerer Hekanut, turning him into a servant. Under the service of Chthon, Hekanut tried to retrieve the Sword of Bone, but was stopped by a time-traveling magic. And that's magic with a K. That's Colossus' sister. She's awesome. Alright, in medieval times, Morgan Le Fay formed a cult of mystics around the power of the Darkhold and attempted to summon Chthon to do her bidding. Being invited back to Earth by its residents was a loophole in Chthon's pact with the other Elder Gods. Although he was under no obligation to obey his summoners, realizing their mistake, Morgan's cult could not fully banish Chthon from Earth as he was in primordial times. Instead, they bound him to a single location on Earth, Mount Wundagore, in what would become the Eastern European nation of Transia. Morgan's tower became the resting place for the Darkhold itself, bound by spells to prevent it from being used for evil. A mystic from the Age of Camelot, known as Mordred, entered the tower, intending to harness the power of the Darkhold for good. The other, a manifestation of Chthon, appeared to Mordred and tried to bargain for his soul. Mordred refused to give up his soul to the demon, but when his lady love Janice entered the tower in Chthon's field of influence, Mordred sacrificed his soul to spare Janice's. When the other and his forces attacked, Merlin and Brendan combined their forces to banish them, and Brendan scattered the Darkhold pages across the world. However, the monk Aelfric came to worship Chthon and assembled the pages once again. Chthon formed a pact with Sagbada for his own dark reasons and created an army of undead reanimated corpses, which were the first zombies. So this guy is like the man of all monsters. Like, he's just like, yeah, is there something twisted? Leave that to me. Alright, in modern times, the High Evolutionary built his citadel on Mount Wundagore, and unknowingly came under Chthon's watch. His associate, Jonathan Drew, was possessed by the spirit of Magnus, one of Morgan Le Fay's old disciples, and warned against the threat of Chthon. After evolving his new men from animals, the High Evolutionary trained them with a code of honor like the knights of old, preparing them to face Chthon should he ever rise again. Indeed he did, and so Magnus and the Knights of Wundagore drove Chthon back into his mountain slumber. Before he left this world, however, Chthon reached out and touched an infant girl being born on Wundagore that night, marking her as a potential vessel for the future. That girl would be called Wanda. Maria Rusoff and Margali Sardos sought to enlist Wanda into their group when they began sensing the presence of the Gypsy Queen's coven and Taboo, under the directions of Chthon, used a copy of the Darkhold to prevent Wanda from coming under the influence of Set. Taboo enlisted the help of Damballa to fight against the Coven, and while they battled, Wanda's powers emerged for the first time, which allowed Chthon to pass across the dimensional barriers and banished both the Gypsy Queen Serpent Crown and Damballa in order to prevent Set to establish his influence. Before retreating, he told the people involved that they would bear children of a cult. Modred resurfaced in the modern era, awakened from his long sleep, but he continued to resist the influence of the other. After Modred succumbed to Chthon's influence, after a while, he captured the Scarlet Witch and performed the ritual, allowing Chthon to use her as his vessel on Earth. Wanda, as Chthon, opposed the Avengers when they arrived to help her, and imprisoned them in a mystical circle that would summon Chthon fully to Earth. However, the beast arrived, dressed as one of Chthon's old nemesis. Nemesis? The plural of nemesis. Nemesi. I'm going to say Nemesi because that just sounds better. From the Knights of Wundagore to distract him, and seized the Darkhold before the ritual was complete. Django Maximoff crafted a doll in Wanda's image, faithfully using wood from Wundagore imbued with some of Chthon's own power, and it acted as a conduit for Wanda's soul. She regained her body while Chthon was trapped in the doll. Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch then buried the doll in an avalanche, leaving Chthon in his dimension once more. Chthon had several plans working at once to ensure his rebirth. However, Vittorio Montesi, and the latest in a long line of Montesi priests, employed by the Vatican to guard against the rise of Chthon and the influence of the Darkhold. The Montesis even had a special dispensation from the Vatican to marry and sire heirs, keeping their bloodline active against the forces of evil. So here's my problem with this little bit. Okay, they were brought on by the Vatican. The Vatican, the head of the Catholic Church, the one that believes in God and Jesus and Mary and all that stuff. They had a special guard against Chthon and other, who's an elder god. So they're knowingly, at least in the Marvel universe, they're knowingly promoting heresy. What's up with that? I'm no theologian. I am a self-professed Christian. I have my beliefs. I don't hold anyone else accountable to my beliefs. So I don't condemn people, but come on. Like this is pretty messed up. Marvel, you're crossing lines there. I don't know where to go with this. But anyway, all right, let's see here. Let's see. The Montesi even has special dispensation from the Vatican to marry and sire heirs, keeping their bloodline active. Okay, Vittorio was sterile, however, and felt pressure to continue his family line. So he gave in to temptation and used the Darkhold to impregnate his wife, which is incredibly intelligent. Good job, Vittorio. Idiot. Alright, the misogynistic Vittorio thought Chthon had made sport of him when his child turned out to be a daughter, not a son like he wanted. Worse, Victoria Montesi was a lesbian, something the old world Vittorio considered an abomination. Whatever, dude. Little did he realize this was the least of Chthon's actions. You gotta admit, it's pretty funny. Like, yeah, you can't have children of your own, even though you're supposed to. Make a deal with me. Oh, you did? Guess what? Your son's a daughter, and your wife likes other ladies. You're all alone. It's whatever. All right. During a fight against Spider-Woman, Viper cast her through a portal to Chthon's dimension, where he began transforming her into a demon. Spider-Woman tried to escape, but Chthon already took control of her limbs. Luckily, she was saved by Viper, despite the pleading of Chthon. When Blade used the Demigorge page from the Darkhold to summon the other, he appeared before Blade in the form of his mother and offered him a chance for revenge on the supernatural by becoming the new Demogorge, to which Blade immediately accepted and became Switchblade. However, Lois Hastings used the counterspell to save all of the Switchblade's victims, but in exchange losing a portion of her soul to Chthon. The other eventually made an offer to Mordred, and that he could return his soul in exchange for the soul of a good woman from England. Mordred accepted the offer and succeeded in getting the woman through the ritual, but eventually realized that the woman was his beloved Lady Janice. Mordred fought Chthon, who was now possessing her body, but seeing that Chthon would kill Janice, Mordred offered his soul again, to which Chthon accepted, leaving Janice to die in Mordred's arms. As an adult, Victoria came to lead a team of Darkhold Redeemers, fighting the proliferation. I don't know how many extra syllables I added to that. The proliferation of Darkhold spells being disseminated in the world. In time, however, they learned that Victoria was actually the child of Chthon, not Vittorio, and the Elder God impregnated her in order to be reborn on the earthly plane. Doctor Strange contained Victoria in a time-locked stasis for months while trying to find a way to stop the rebirth. Fortunately, he was eventually successful. Plotting to reclaim Earth, Chthon banished Ian McNee to the Serpent Sea, under the guise of Oster of the famous trio once again, Oster, Goster, Begoster. He told Ian to restore Heckanut. That's just my favorite name, Heckanut. To save the mystic realms in exchange for his salvation, to which Ian vowed to do so. Oster told Ian to gather the 4 aces, the cornerstones of creation, by using the first tarot. Allegedly, Chthon guided Marie Laveau into helping Ian. After Ian retrieved the 4th cornerstone of creation, the mirror, which was revealed to be the Darkhold itself. Chthon, in the form of Oster, came to Ian and led him to use the cornerstones to restore Heckanut. After successfully restoring Heckanut with the help of Ashaki, Morgan, and Lyra, Chthon revealed himself and Heckanut threatened Ian to take over his form and make him Chthon's slave. However, Ian suspected this and summoned the 3 women to help him against Chthon. Ashaki used the Sword of Bone to release Heckanut, while Ian used the other cornerstones to banish Chthon along with the cornerstones, but not before Chthon told Ian he would return for his payment. Wow. This is crazy, right? So a lot of his history deals with just the fact of him being the creator of the Darkhold. Just so you know. He's crazy. For as bad as Mephisto is, Chthon might just be a bit worse. Let's see here. I'm looking through some more of his history. A lot of it is pretty much the same old story. He comes back. They find a way to banish him. He comes back. During Hydra's takeover of America, Chthon possessed Scarlet Witch again. Under possession, Wanda became a member of Hydra's Avengers. She was eventually freed from Chthon's possession by Doctor Strange during the final battle against Hydra. After Doctor Doom uncovered the original Darkhold, the true Darkhold, a path opened between Earth and the other realm. With this, Chthon would enter Earth in his complete form. Chthon taunted Wanda Maximoff by showing her a vision of his invasion. Wanda and Doom traveled to the other realm, empowered by the true Darkhold to defeat Chthon. Wanda backstabbed Doom and took the true Darkhold for herself. She fused with it, which granted her the power to defeat Chthon and absorb the Elder God entirely. Although he got sealed and his power was now hers, Wanda warned her allies that he would return if she died. Wanda was later then killed during the Hellfire Gala and was revived soon after. Chthon's current status is unclear. So we don't know if when she was returned, if he got out at that point, or when she was revived, if he just stayed in. Like, we don't know. Maybe he's still there. But what do you guys think? Like, it's crazy, right? Like, I mean, this guy he's bad. He's a bad guy. Alright, let's go into his powers. He's got Elder God Physiology. Chthon is one of the most powerful Elder Gods of Earth, who has degenerated into a demonic state. He has a vast ability to manipulate magical energies for nearly any effect. He has manifested himself in humanoid form, but can take various forms, and his true form, if he has one, has not yet been revealed. He's got Dark and Chaos Magic Mastery. Chthon is a being of unimaginable mystical power, specifically that which can be called black magic or chaos magic. The magic can manipulate, warp, and reconstruct the very fabric of existence and reality to the user's very whims and bring about total destruction to the cosmos. He also has other realm control, where in this dimension he has created for himself, he controls every aspect of that reality. He also has telepathy, which enables him to read, control, and communicate with the minds of others, even across dimensional barriers. And he's got a mystic patron. He can also send his power out of that dimension when invoked to do so by a spellcaster, though when this is done, the spellcaster's soul is forfeit to the Elder God. And until Chthon finds a way to truly free himself from his other dimensional realm, he can operate on Earth through his elemental host, known as the Other, which is summoned when someone uses the Darkhold. The Other can manifest itself into any appearance it wants, but its actions on the earthly sphere are generally limited by the demands of the user of the Darkhold. He's also got demonic possession. If the proper rituals are performed, Chthon can also take over mortal host bodies on Earth, but he cannot easily transfer all of his totality into these forms, and often even the fraction he can is too much for the form to contain. And of course, he's got a genius level intellect, and he's got an extraordinary knowledge of the dark mystical forces of the cosmos, and catalog the evil spells of the demonic elder gods of Earth in the Darkhold. He is the original author of the Darkhold, an indestructible collection of evil mystical knowledge and spells that he intended to serve as a medium through which he could return to Earth. The Darkhold can apparently change its form, since Chthon created it millions of years ago before the rise of humanity, to whom it appeared as a set of scrolls with human writing on them. Most people who use the Darkhold's magic spells fall under Chthon's mental control as a result. Only humans with great spiritual strength or aided by great mystical expertise, like Doctor Strange and the members of the Montesi family, can successfully resist this mental enslavement. The Darkhold's power is so vast it took the combined strength and will of both Merlin, who was the most accomplished Earth sorcerer of all time, and Brendan to contain it. I don't know who Brendan is, but the dude sounds like a douche, so whatever. Like, thanks a lot, Brendan. Alright, and even together they were unable to destroy the Darkhold or its power. Mordred also seemed to believe that use of the Darkhold would grant him sufficient strength to challenge Merlin himself. It's later revealed that the aforementioned Darkhold is actually a mere copy of the original Darkhold, the true Darkhold. So, what do you guys think of this guy? Like, what do you think? Like, he's crazy, right? This is the most evil mystical baddie, period. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Let me know what you guys think with him. He's crazy, he is manipulative, but he always falls short. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment, like, subscribe, leave a question, leave a statement. I don't know. Leave a request if you want future episodes. Whatever it is, let me know. If you're listening on Outward Fleet Radio or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, comment, like, I don't know, send me a DM on Twitter, Instagram. If you do it on Twitch, I'm not going to get it. I'm just telling you that it's dead. It's there as basically a placeholder. But my name under Twitter and Instagram and Twitch is Super Deep Dive, and use the hashtag Superhero Deep Dive. If you want to find me on YouTube, it's Superhero Deep Dive. And you can email me at b4itall, so b4itall at yahoo.com. Let's see here. Let's get into some weaknesses and some fun facts about him. And then we're going to call it, because this guy's crazy. Alright, weaknesses. Dimensional entrapment. Without the Darkhold, Chthon is unable to move freely through dimensions and is trapped in his own, because it would take an enormous mystical rift to convey the immense mystical power of the Elder God. Moreover, Gaia has erected magical screens, reinforced over millennia by hundreds of human sorcerers, which prevent him from traveling to Earth unless he undertakes highly elaborate preparations. He's also dependent on extra-dimensional living vessels. As shown during several of Chthon's summonings on Earth, though the occupation of a human would enable Chthon to share the human's abilities, he would also be left more vulnerable in both mind and body, even magically augmented. For example, it is through the mystical or physical mind that a human possesses information, in which a human mystic can utter incantations and thus cast spells to work magic. If the physical mind or its processes were somehow disrupted, even through non-mystical means, Chthon would temporarily be deprived of his spellcasting ability. He's also got a weakness to eldritch magic. Chthon and those augmented by his power are vulnerable to eldritch magic, including that of the Darkhold itself. And he's also weak to the true Darkhold. The true Darkhold allowed Scarlet Witch to defeat and absorb Chthon, because it was, because it was Chthon's greatest creation, so it had the ability to absorb him. So those are his weaknesses. And let's get into fun facts. Fun facts. Dormammu once invoked the Cauldron of Chthon in a spell to cast the world in an eternal darkness. Exodus of X-Men fame was also able to see Chthon's power with the Wundagore Mountain and thought how he could use it. Through the Darkhold, Chthon empowered the following people, who you may or may not have heard of, because I have not heard of a lot of them, like Donald Walsh, Morton Thurton, Aurora Poli, Reverend Stige, Clarissa Van Ripper, Mercy, Mr. Hayward, Sarah Roberts Jinx, Lieutenant Frank West, Harvester, Morbius, and Spider-X. And Chthon was the main villain in Spider-Man Requiem. And in a vision, Chthon showed Wanda of his invasion of Earth. He also showed her that Valeria Richards, who was the daughter of Reed and Sue Richards, that people may or may not know about, could stop it, although she was killed in the vision. So, those are some fun facts. It is highly rumored that Chthon will be making an appearance, whether big or small, good or bad, something, in the Multiverse of Madness. So I don't want to go into power expansions. I don't want to delve too deep into that, because the Doctor Strange movies are pretty crazy anyway. I mean, they can do anything. So really, I don't know where to go from there. I would not know how to expand the character. And if I guessed, I would be going by what some of the rumors are of him making an appearance. I'd try to link it to Multiverse of Madness. And I don't want to do that. Because this is one of those characters that they're just so random. They created this character to basically be whatever they needed him to be at the time that they needed him to be it. So I'm excited to see if he may even be in the MCU that we may not even know about. What if all those times that we're thinking of Mephisto, it's really Chthon that we're looking at? You know, who knows? But what do you guys think? Let me know. I definitely want to have conversations on this. Comment, like, subscribe, share if you're watching on YouTube. Like I said, I'm really trying to boost my YouTube audience, so, take that for what it is. Post it on Reddit. I don't know. Help me expand the channel, because I don't know how. But I would really, really love to expand and grow the audience and have interactions. Like I said, if I can get to 500 subscribers, I will do a giveaway. And we'll go from there. But yeah, like, subscribe, comment. If you have any requests for future episodes, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to add it to my list. If you are listening on Outworld Fleet Radio, which is www.un-con-conventional.com/radio, thank you so much for being a loyal listener. And if you ever want to reach out to me, you are more than welcome as well. You can catch me on Instagram and Twitter under Super Deep Dive. I post memes, superhero themed memes throughout the week, 2-3 times a week. You can comment on those, like them, follow me. Send me a DM, whatever you want to do. I'm cool with it. And if you want to send me an email, I'm cool with that too. My email address is b4itall, so b4itall@yahoo.com. I'm going to head out for now. I hope everyone has a great week coming up. I hope everyone already had a great week. But yeah, we're going to keep moving forward, right? Because that's all we can do. In the meantime, guys, everyone be blessed. Be safe, be happy, be smart, and if you're not smart, don't get caught. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.